everyone. Like we all know, it's week 8, which is the final week, and so I'm just going to take you through my entire project on the bike sharing. Now, the first thing to look at is whether we want our system to be cloud-based or not. So I thought it's best if we make a cloud-based retail facility, which means we get to increase efficiency in customer and industry data storage. We're able to promote remote system accessibility and also improve security. Moving on to identifying the system users, I saw that we would need 2 main system users, one being the customer and the second one being the operating system, which would be responsible for the processing of customer information, billing, and record keeping. In identifying software components, I looked at a database management system, a GPS technology system, a radio frequency identification system, a payment processing system with embedded microprocessor chips, an operating system, and a customer relationship software. However, in addition to this, 3 more were identified, which are an inventory control system, an accounting and finance system, and a management reporting system. On identifying the hardware components, I looked at bike kiosks, the bikes themselves, the docks, the computers, cash registers, barcode scanners, and printers. And looking at database components, I considered a DBMS software, data itself, which is required before any processing can be done, a backup system, and then a database access language. Now, this is just a system architectural design of what the entire system is supposed to look like. So like we can see, the cloud is in the central position of the entire system, which means that everybody picks their information from the cloud. However, we have firewalls in there to protect any unauthorized access from entering the system. Now, the security of the system. I realized that the system is going to be open to both physical, human, and digital risk. On physical risk, we are looking at theft of the bikes and equipment or accidents like a punctured tire. On digital risks, we are looking at denial of service attacks. We are looking at phishing scams, malicious attacks, and hackers. And on human errors, we are looking at users mishandling their passwords or leaving the bike kiosk unlocked, which is going to lead to these digital risks that I have already mentioned. Based on the security risks that have been identified, we are looking at some requirements that are needed in order to ensure that those risks, the company is protected against all those risks. And so we are looking at installation of both hardware and software firewalls, certain bike use rules, installation of bike safety features, security and liability policies, a GPS tracking system in order to be able to locate the bikes at wherever they are at every given point in time, education and training for employees and customers on the importance of security, ensuring we have a restricted access control into the company's network, and scheduled equipment maintenance. On all of these security requirements as well, we would need people who would be in charge of that. And so 4 main people were identified. We are looking at a chief information security officer, a system security engineer, a maintenance team to fix all the errors that happen on the bikes and the equipment, and a compliance team to make sure the company is always on track with security rules that come from the state. Now, this is a flowchart to show the process that the system will go through. At the very beginning, you see I have user authentication, which means that we verify the user if they have already registered or they are yet to be registered. So if they are already registered, we check their subscription status. If they are not registered, we validate them, make sure they register, sign up, and then we go on to charge a fee. However, if the user decides to take a ride in addition to subscribing. We do all of that, and at the end, we have an invoice. The same business process has been highlighted here in Word so that it's easier for you to understand if you want to. Now, these are some data structures that are identified as well. We have a subscription variable, a doc variable, a customer variable, a time variable, a payment variable. And based on all of those variables I just mentioned, a data design structure was developed in trying to bill a customer who has taken a ride. Okay. So yes, this is what, and based on this, we see the relationship between the different tables, and this is going to be used in writing all the codes. The next thing is the steps required for the implementation of the system. So the very first thing I identified is the execution, monitoring, and control, which has to do with the actual development of the system based on all of the things we have already identified. After which we do testing and evaluation to make sure the system that has been developed meets the stakeholders' requirements. Then after that, we do the change control, which is the actual placing of the system at where it is supposed to be, and handing it over to the stakeholder. However, after that is done, we can also do another testing and evaluation just to make sure after the change control, the system is still working and is meeting stakeholder requirements. Then finally, continuous system maintenance at every point in time, which comes with the security. Finally, my references for this project. Thank you.